Okay, so today's lesson is kind of backtracking. I have lesson 1, so anyway, it's basically on the first day of school and setting the precedence for the rest of the school year just based on the first day. So, can you tell me what you think is important for a teacher to do when running a classroom? So enter the classroom on the first day. What do you think is important?
Kind of like setting rules or like well, I can't think of the word right now. Just like we were talking about expectations for the class, so that they don't get the wrong idea that they can push around the teacher on the first day of school.
Okay, that's good. Anyone else?
Not demand, but make sure you have the respect, along with setting rules, make sure they don't pass you around have
Respect. Yeah, that's a really important one.
but also give respect.
Respect on both sides.
Yeah.
Teacher. You guys can just name them. You don't have to wait for me.
Just one that I read was set up a positive expectation for the rest of the year. Be I know we're gonna have such a great year and you guys are gonna learn so much.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The learning environment, making sure it's set to learn.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Maybe kind of introduce yourself and get to know them.
Get to know.
Better.
Okay. Yeah, those are all really good ones. So what do you think that these things all make a good classroom? Is there anything that you would add or change? I guess it's kind of the same thing. Okay, now I want to talk about what effective teachers are. So effective teachers spend time organizing and structuring their classrooms so the students know what to do to succeed. So there's a plan in mind. So you walk in the first day of school and they might have rules, they might have, objectives for the year, they might have sort of an outline for what's going to be going on in your classroom, things to look forward to, field trips, whatever it might be. So the class gets an idea of what they're going to be doing and all of that. So it said students don't want to be surprised or don't want disorganization. They need that schedule. They don't want to have to ask oh, what are we doing today, teacher? You just have a plan. You always follow through with it. There's no downtime really. It's school, so they work and they're given a set plan. Also, they like well-managed classrooms because it's safe and predictable. It's somewhere they can go and they can know they can learn there, they can feel comfortable with their teacher, and it's not an environment where it's full of uncertainty, because what kid likes that? So number 2 is effective teachers teach classroom management procedures that create consistency, like we talked about. So it says here, a well-managed classroom is the foundation for learning in the classroom. So being consistent, not only the first day of school, but the second, third, fourth, have you ever been to a class and clearly your teacher didn't maybe have a late night, or it just kind of seemed oh, let's watch a video, or let's give you a worksheet that's going to waste time. We've all been there where teachers just kind of throw you things and it's not producing any learning, there's nothing going on, it's just wasting time, and you're just wondering, why am I even here, especially high school? What was the point? If there's got to be a sub, I don't know, whatever. So there's that. And then number 3 is effective teachers have lesson plans. So it says student achievement at the end of the year is directly related to the degree to which the teacher establishes good control of the classroom. procedures in the first week of school. Okay, so they take control of their class. Control means you know what you're doing, your classroom procedures, and your professional responsibilities. So you're a teacher, this is what you got your degree for, so you need to take control of your classroom. You need to, like we talked about, respect. That's huge in the first few weeks of school because that really sets the tone. If they can't respect you, then your whole class is going to be shambles, especially for the little age, elementary age kids. How to be effective? Well, to be effective, if you think of some examples of some careers and professions where it produces a result. Like, can you think of any examples?
Well, I can only think of maybe like professional sports.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you keep doing something. I don't know if that's a good example, but like through practices, like maybe free throw shots, you don't get simply just like that. You have multiple shots.
Yeah, because it's producing results. You're making a basket, you're getting points. Anyone else have examples?
Producing results in any profession?
Any.
I just
Name some.
think of like making food, like packaging it. I don't know why. Just producing results that way. Just
Yeah.
getting them out.
Okay. Does anyone else have any ideas? Okay, well in here, I mean it's really anything. It's a plumber, a salesperson, a dentist. You're fixing teeth, okay? You fix the cavity, you put a crown on it, that's a result. Or a doctor repairing a bone or putting a cast on. It's any of these. So same with the teacher. The amount of work that you put in, the amount of schooling you go to is a production of, it's are your students learning? That's your result, is if you're teaching effectively so that they're learning. And the way to do that is to establish these key principles in the beginning of the school year. So what do you guys think to first be effective requires? Have any ideas or thoughts? So like the first thing you need to be an effective teacher. A plan. That's good. Good answer. Yeah.
Maybe going to class, you need to be well prepared and be confident with what you're doing, what
Yeah.
you're going to teach with that day.
Yeah.
With the right schooling and preparation.
Good. Okay.
I think like when you're already in the profession, I kind of would when I say like getting to know your students, is like an effective teacher I feel like knows each student individually and what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
So they know how to like teach to that.
Totally.
Help with that.
Perfect. Yeah. So this one says proficiency. That's what you guys all said. To be proficient, you have to be all of those things and do all of those things, which is possessing those knowledge and skills that you need to be a good teacher. So we're now going to talk about the 4 stages of teaching. And I want you guys to all take notes because we're going to do an activity and you're going to have to use these principles with each other. So if you could pull out a sheet of paper and take some notes on each stage. Okay. So the first stage of teaching is the fantasy stage. Some teachers, like in all the stages, some teachers don't progress to the 4th stage. They don't just stay in the first. So the first one, these are some of the characteristics. They rarely talk about standards, assessment, or student achievement. And they entertain students with activities, and that's their concept of teaching. So they're not really giving any beef to the kids, they're just sort of, you know, kind of going along with it, seeing what can fill the time, like maybe useless activities or something like that. And their main focus is, well, I'll just be a friend with my student, I'll just, you know, connect with them in that way. And yeah, you can be friends with your students, but are they learning something? Probably not. Okay, so that's the fantasy stage, and some teachers have a belief that that's the way to be a successful teacher, but that's obviously clearly not the best. So the first one is fantasy. Okay. Second one is survival, okay? So in this stage, they spend their time looking for busy work for the students to do. So handing out worksheets, you know, having them watch videos, doing seat work, anything to keep the students quiet is their method of action. Students' learning and achievement are not their goals. They teach because it's a job and their paycheck is their survival goal. So that's why it's survival. Because they're just doing enough to get by. They're doing enough to meet some requirements by handing out a worksheet or something like that. Okay? Does everyone understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's survival. Okay, number 3 is mastery. So in the mastery stage, teachers know how to achieve student success and employ effective practices. These teachers know how to manage their classrooms, and they teach for mastery. They have high expectations for their students, and so they might do this by giving, they might be going to meetings, like professional meetings for teachers to help them become better teachers. So they're always striving to take it to the next level and to try new methods, like you said in your presentation, of applying those research-based teaching practices. So that's what they're looking for. They're always looking to like continue their education. And student learning is their mission, and student achievement is their mastery goal. So that's the mastery stage. Okay. Okay, and number 4 is impact. So the impact stage is where effective teachers make a difference in the lives of their students. These are those teachers who you maybe like, at least I've done this, I had a kindergarten teacher who happened to be 2 of my siblings' kindergarten teachers, and now is my nephew's teacher. So she's been teaching for forever. But even though I was such a little kid, I remember vivid memories with her. Like, she left such a great impact on me. But it's those teachers whom students come back to and say, wow, you've really affected my life in a positive way, and I appreciate you for doing that. So it's those who used effective teaching practices, and the students have learned, you know, I guess more, they've been able to apply lessons. So you can tell like a teacher has put in so much work and effort into a class and has maintained a relationship with a student and has applied these principles and has really made their classroom climate one that a student can learn from and one that can impact their lives. So when you've reached this stage, you've gone beyond mastery. You've arrived as a teacher, one who can influence and impact and change maybe someone's life for the future. So there's a quote I want to read. It says, "Teachers who are proficient and effective are more capable of impacting the lives of students than teachers who are not proficient and effective." So What you do in the first days of school to affect the lives of your students will determine your success the rest of the year. Okay, so now I want you guys to get into groups. Maybe you two work together and then you three work together. And I want you to have kind of like a monologue with each other. So you're gonna say, for example, Melly, like, what did I call you?
That's her name.
Yeah, okay, good. I want you to say, you'd say something to her like, okay, I am a teacher who likes to give a lot of worksheets to my students. I don't really care, you know, what they take from the rest of the school day, like, and then she has to name what stage is. And you guys have to do that to each other. So pick different stages, and then try to guess.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
want to start?
Who wants to go first?
I'm just type of teacher.
I'll
So
go
when
first.
I teach, I want
Okay,
them
so,
to know that I love them and I'm always there if they need me. Not only like during
yeah,
the teaching
that's
time,
like obvious
anytime
anyways.
they can just
So-
email me or call me or talk to me.
I was at the grocery store one day and
Okay.
this,
I thought it was fantasy at first because fantasy is like wanting to be a friend with your student, but
yeah,
I'm a teacher
yeah,
who will
Okay.
give the
Next
students a
person.
worksheet and go back to my desk and
Okay, I'll go.
do something else.
So I
I like to spend a lot of time on the computer looking
Okay,
for
I'm
worksheets my
just
students can do,
teacher
and then I find videos to go along with
creating
them.
the stuff. So
I don't really care
I
whether it's
give them like stuff to do, like
sad.
improves and creative
Wait,
stuff.
oh, I forgot
So my
fantasy.
student can.
fantasy is the stage where you're like
Master?
friends with your
Oh.
student and you kind of
Fantasy.
don't really care what goes on.
So that's like
You
entertainment.
have
Yeah, I was.
them
Yeah.
Okay.
watch videos
Alright,
and you
let's
just
see.
do kind of,
I'm the
you
kind
don't
of
really
teacher
go off any assessment or
who was always trying to do better, and I have high expectations for my students.
Master.
Such good note takers,
Okay.
my little students.
Yeah.
A plus for me.
A plus.
Okay, I'm just
I
a
love
teacher
to
who
study before I
choose
teach, it's hearing
most
how
of
they
the
can
time.
understand
Okay,
easier.
because
And also, I try to
my let's just say my
make
husband
plans
left
for
me, so I'm so
using
stressed
the
with my family
activities or
life.
videos that
So,
students can
I just go to class and give them videos for them to watch or they'll be able to think for
Survival.
Yes.
Okay. I'm the type of teacher who makes kids think deeply about things they
Okay,
wouldn't
wait,
normally
okay,
think
it's
about.
pretty good. Alright,
And I change
so
the way
my
they
class,
see
like, my
the world.
students are super awesome.
And they often come back to me and
Okay.
Activities all the time.
Impact.
They
Nice.
description that I see.
You got that one.
that was a pretty difficult description. Almost.
None of them are bad. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
That's
just
good.
kind of teachers who
I was trying to mix it up there. But I didn't want to come off that too obvious, so.
Okay, does everyone kind of get that? Do you guys all understand the stages? Do you have any questions? Okay. I hope you guys all are in the impact stage when you become teachers. We don't want to be in the fantasy stage, 'cause that's no good. Then you get fired from that. So, anyway, thank you all for coming today, and